We began exploring the secret oaths our leaders may take. This time we look deeper, at the skull beneath the crown. They say the skull belonged to Geronimo. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. What matters isn't whose skull it was, but that there was one. A human being, exhumed, stolen, and placed on an altar inside Yale's most secret society, Skull and Bones. The story goes like this. In 1918, a bonesman wrote a letter bragging that he and his brothers had dug up the skull of the worthy Geronimo the Terrible from his grave at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. One of those men was said to be Prescott Bush, father of George H.W. Bush and grandfather of George W. Bush. 3 generations, 1 senator, 2 presidents, and it began with a grave. The letter exists. The Apache Nation has demanded the remains back. Yale has denied proof, but never opened the tomb to show what's inside. And maybe that tells you everything. Because whether the skull belonged to Geronimo or some other soul, someone's remains were taken, displayed, and celebrated by men who would later shape the destiny of this country. This isn't a plastic Halloween prop. It's a human skull, handled, worshipped, and woven into the rituals of America's most elite. Donald Trump once said, "These are a sick group of people." Maybe he's right. And maybe it's time even the fiercest critics, Democrats, socialists, or anyone who still believes that this is about left and right, starts looking at the evidence for what it is. Because if these men were willing to desecrate the dead for their amusement and ritual, what do you think they're willing to do to the living? This is the sickness beyond the symbols. The same sickness that turns oaths into chains and power into possession. They call it tradition. I call it a warning. My friends, we are all anonymous, and the evidence is there for anyone willing to look.
Both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
We're both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?